This month, I'm not doing a Pride charity stream like I've done the past 3 years now, because I'm actually going to be away for my birthday. So instead of doing a single Pride related stream, I'm going to be doing 4, count them, 4 one-off Pride related streams. So we're going to be playing 4 games that in some way ties into the month in ways that might not be immediately apparent. But the first one of these is a game that I've wanted to play for a little while. I wanted to go back to this game because I have not played it since this game first came out, which is somehow almost 10 years ago. This game was released in 2013, so this game is 9 years old. Which kind of makes sense because this game feels like it belongs in a completely different lifetime. And amazingly, this was a very controversial title when it was released. And we're going to get into that a little bit as we're playing. And I'm very excited to see what you will make of this. I'm going to keep spoilers very light because this is a game very much about figuring out what's going on. So I don't really want to tell you too much up front. A couple of quick trigger warnings. This is not a graphic game. We're not going to see anything depicted on the screen. However, there is going to be mentions and insinuations about stuff like abuse, homophobia, bullying, and child abuse in particular. Again, nothing graphic and nothing is really explored in detail, but just be wary that those things are going to crop up at some point in the game. And if you're watching this on the YouTube thing, I will have had more detailed content warnings in the description. But just so that you're all kind of okay with that, and so just watch with care and, bail out if you feel like it gets too much. So, let's go home. Right, can you hear the music? Can you hear me? I noted that I saw my first gay icon and for favorite singer during this Pride Month. Yay! You did! You did talk about that on Discord, but I don't think we brought it up on the stream. We were talking about it before. I'm just going to make sure. We're going to do head bob. Go good volume. Can we get... It's going to be, I think, a little bit of reading for me in this game, but I do think it has voice acting. But I think if we can get maybe the... I was going to see if we could get subtitles, but it doesn't seem like it's... Oh, there we go. Display subtitles. There we go. Should we get... I'll add overlay text and then we'll add it, take it away if we don't need it. Right, gone home, everyone. Let's go. Start, please. So, keeping this as spoiler-free as possible. If you have played this game, please don't reveal too much, because I think that there's a fair few of the people in chat who have not played this game, and I'm very excited to see what they think about it. So please keep spoiler talk to a minimum.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really, seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
Oh my god, that's actually pretty close. We're a week later. We're June 7th, 1995. 1 in the morning. Oh yeah, I think we'll want to keep that text there because I think it'll make it a little bit easier to read. So we're in 1995. That's going to be important. And this is our house. I'm gonna maybe... I want to put down the sensitivity a bit. Yeah, that's fine. And we can check objects. It's all, you know, what you expect from a explorer type game. Katie, I'm so sorry I can't be there to see you, but it's impossible. Please don't go digging around trying to find out where I am. I don't want anyone to know. We'll see each other again someday. Don't be worried. I love you, Sam. Okay. It is locked. A first person. Have I not played any first person games before? I must have done. That's redonkulous. I don't believe you. Christmas duck. Hell yeah. But here we got the house key. We got inventory. Oh, and we can check our passport. So we're Caitlin Greenbrier. Hello, Halls. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Firewatch. Yes, that's true. And Stories Untold. Oh, it's nice that you associate me with stuff. I feel very... That feels nice. And we got a boarding pass. Oh my god, departure from Amsterdam. I'm gonna be departure from Amsterdam. Oh, wow. But yeah, okay, we're in Portland. So we're in Portland, 1995. Middle of summer. And we're home. So I think we don't want to... Let's not wake anyone up. We really don't want to be waking people up this late. Ooh. Let's close the door. We'll bring our luggage in the morning. No worries. Read invoice. Wellsprings Movers. Invoice. Terence Greenbrier. Destination. Terence Greenbrier. Descriptive list of shipment contents. Oh, so it looks like we're moving in or moving
Katie,
out.
So much has changed, even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm in a new school. And my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real. But I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal. Just like I was talking to you.
Stephen King. Yeah, mid-90s, Stephen King was big. There's gonna be a lot of 90s stuff in this game. This actually beat the 90s nostalgia boom by a couple of years. What we got? Itinerary. Katie's departure. Oh, so this is when we were leaving. We were going to Amsterdam. Save the itinerary. Not getting a signal. Sam, Daniel from the old neighborhood called. He wants to come and see the new house. Call him back. Mom, Daniel is a total weirdo. The only reason I ever hung out with him in the first place was because he had a Nintendo when we were little. Play the messages.
Sam. Sam. Hello. Sam. Where are you? Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was...
So these are our messages.
But don't
And
worry,
this
I'll
is the
get a shuttle from
family.
the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really
Jan,
seriously,
Terry,
right now.
Sam, and Katie. So we got
Okay,
this is
so,
us right at the
love
top
you.
there,
See
and
you
that's
soon.
our
Bye.
sister, mom, and dad. She kind of has my hair. Right. I don't like the look of this. I still don't want to wake people up. Oh, we do have a map. Oh, that's good. I do get lost. Hi, Mom, Dad, and Sam. I'm in Paris. I've done many Parisian things, including eating le petit déjeuner and wearing a beret. I'm going to have lots of film to develop when I get back. Sam, I'm bringing you back something from the Shakespeare Book Company, since you are my favorite sister. Yeah. Le petit déjeuner? I want le petit déjeuner. Welcome, new student. We hope that you are excited about your first day at Goodfellow High School as we are. Please be sure to bring the following with you on your first day of classes so that you can get right into the swing of things. One sturdy folder with pockets for each of your 6 class periods. One line notebook per period, or one large notebook with 6 divided sections. At least 6 pens, blue or black ink, and 6 pencils. One box of colored pencils, a standard combination lock for your assigned locker, a nutritious lunch, or $2.50 for a lunch provided by the school cafeteria. A positive attitude. Please remember to get plenty of sleep the night before and be ready for the first bell to ring at 8 a.m. See you soon and welcome again.
Oh my god. You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House Girl. Great.
The Psycho House Girl. Oscar Mason, 60 of Boone County, died peacefully last month in his home. Mr. Mason was born on September 8, 1933, in the house that would be his home for the rest of his life. He attained his degree in pharmacy at a young age and returned to Boone County. He quickly became a well-loved figure at the center of the community. In the decades preceding his passing, he was seldom seen outside his home. A service will be held this Sunday at the First Methodist Church at 1 p.m. All are welcome. His survivors include his nephew, Terence Greenbrier, as well as in spirit the people of Boone County, to whom he provided wellness and comfort. Right, so that is our... Am I hearing something? So that is our dad's uncle. The killing of J.K. A fury. You've seen the movie. Discover the truth. I think binder. Put that back. John Russell opened his eyes and saw them, the stars, twinkling as if he were laying on the grass in his family's yard in Massachusetts, even though that place was a million miles away. No, he blinked asleep from his eyes, looking through the carbon-enforced safety glass on his space station Archimedes. Yes, he was a long way from home, but the future needed him. Yeah, I think probably throw that in the trash. We don't have a combination. So we'll be keeping an eye on the combination. Creswell Insurance Company, the wiring in the house is technically up to all standard and amperage requirements. However, multiple layers of wiring has been added into the structure over the last 100 years. System is frequently unpredictable. Lights blink out for no clear reason. Pressure on floorboards and door frames disrupt circuits wired directly behind the surface. Properly reworking the electrical system would be highly destructive to the walls, floors, and fixtures under the structure. After discussion with Mr. Greenbrier, since there are no current safety concerns, these issues will not give you concern. Okay, so basically the house is old and sucks. Although it is big, but it basically means that it's spooky. And it is fucking spooky. I feel such sympathy people who change schools with kids. Yeah, oh god, it must be horrible. I actually never... I mean, I had to change, but like, I changed my whole class because we grew out of school. I was a teenage drag queen. Readers tell us about their worst moments. 90210, does anyone still care? The male gaze, how to subvert it. It's very 90s. Is there anything in that box? Ooh, a book written by our dad. A message from our future saved the president's life once, but within the next 24 hours there will be another attempt, and the lines of communication are down. Right. Probably not great that it's so many copies of that in just a box. A Stranger Under My Roof, the #1 best-selling advice book for parents of teens. The teen years are fraught with change of all types, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. But these changes don't just affect your teen. Your teen's turbulent years are a challenge for parents as well. Yeah, so it's basically one of those books that just treats teenagers like animals. It turns out being a teenager is really fucking hard. Right, so this is, I'm guessing this is sort of Dad's office and library, so we'll know that. Yeah, it is indeed. It literally is Dad's office. Creepy. Oh, someone's been eating pizza. A pillow fort! And they've been reading Hauntings and Poltergeists. Making friends even when you're shy. Sam, thought this might help, Dad. Yeah, that's what we in Sweden call doing a bear's favor.
You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them, and you have to get to know them? Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk, but sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform, and she's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, like, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
Just gals being pals. Right, so this is like the media room, I guess, which is a thing that some houses had. There's another book by Dad. John Russell knows that the president's life hangs in the balance, but who would believe him? Eyebrow wiggle. Yeah, keep those eyebrows exercised because you're gonna need them. TV listing: Family Matters, Unsolved Mysteries, Diagnosis Murder, Mantis, Lucy Show, Strange Luck, Boy Meets World. Yeah, this is the 90s, alright. We've got a letter here. Hi Terry, enclosed please find a Pioneer blah 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 unit with remote and cables. We need a half-page review for the October issue, so that gives you about 2 weeks to get us a copy for edit. Standard stuff like you gave us on the blah blah blah. It's a combi player, so check its CD playback with a few discs as well as a laser disc, and they want you to definitely hit the signal to noise ratio and TOS link stuff for high-end buyers. Looking forward to your take on it. So half a page review, 2 weeks. That was what magazines could do in the 90s. You could get 2 weeks to review something for half a page. That's like 200 words. That is bananas. Lurking due to business. Yeah, and I hope business is good. Nice to see ya. Hope stuff is going okay. Always lovely to see you. The Heaven at the Edge of the World. Samantha Greenbrier, Grade 2. Story 1, The Turtle People, Part 1. Captain Allegra looked off at the ocean. It went on forever, or so it seemed. Someday she would find the edge and get to the paradise there. Then she heard a cannon fire. Boom! It was the Black Pirate ship. She yelled, I thought we lost them at the Horse Island, the first mate said. Looks like you fought too soon. The black ship came up along the side. Captain Black himself came out on the deck of the black ship. He yelled to Captain Allegra, Yar, hivar, gonna find the edge. There ain't no paradise, and your father were a liar. Captain Allegra yelled back. Then why do you still keep following us, you imbecile? The first mate yelled out. We'll stop you, Captain Black. We'll find the edge of the world, and you'll see her father was no liar. The battle kept going until Captain Allegra's ship got away. Now west, she said, and the ship sailed toward the sunset. Hell yeah. We've got Time Machine, Clue, Fantastic Voyage, and Top Gun. Oh, the Andromeda Strain. Airplane and Moonraker. That's a good double bill. And Beetlejuice and Robocop. That's an even better double bill. Blade Runner Director's Cut. That was pretty rare in the mid-90s. JFK, X-Files Season 1, Season 1, Season 1. God. The Thunderbolts and Lightning. It's very, very frightening. Alright, so someone's been having like a film night in their little fort, reading about poltergeists. State Department of Agriculture. What have we got in here? Ooh, the spooky. I'm gonna turn some lights on because I don't like it. Ooh, what have we got? Adrian Rollini. Okay. Oh. You know what? I don't care if we wake anyone up at this point.
Somehow I always knew that someday we'd be through.
Reproductive System Worksheet 6.
I just can't.
Actually, this is loud. It's loud. I can't hear myself think. Below are two stories. The events are all out of order. Get a sheet of lined paper. Choose one of the two stories and rewrite it. Begin with the title and your name. The menstrual cycle. And it travels through the fallopian tube. The ovary releases the ovum. About 2 weeks later, since the lining of the uterus is not needed for a pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. It's incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. If the egg doesn't meet the sperm, it dissolves. While the ovum is developing, the lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. The ovum starts to develop. And then we're writing it. Oh, well, let's just read this. All right. Been thundering all day. Jesus. The early morning of September 1st, 1939, Esa Glatz stares out the window of the train as it travels from Vienna back to her home village of Weilen in Poland. As the train tumbles along and the sun rises over the countryside, she can only think of her dear Borislav, the boy she is engaged to wed. Meanwhile, deep within her guts, an ovum starts to develop. As the train approaches its destination, her heart races. The lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. As Eza steps off the train, her eyes dart quickly across the gathered crowd. Then there, her dear Boris, still in his baker's smock. He must have dropped his early morning duties at his father's shop to come meet her. Her heart skips a beat. The ovary releases the ovum. It travels through the fallopian tube. Over the wheezing of steam engines, a deep hum grows. It's coming from the sky. Dark shadows pass over the station. A whistling sound. Eza, her thoughts only a second faster than the bomb, reaches out towards... I can't go further down. Hang on. There we go. I have to read it like this. Oh. A second faster than the bombs, reaches out towards her dear Boris as across the crowd. Their eyes lock and the moment freezes. The flash and smoke envelops him almost instantly. In the assault by German forces, almost 75% of the people in her hometown are killed. The rest, including Eza, and for a time Borislav, huddled in a half-destroyed church. He's blind. His legs are missing. Bandaged with torn bed sheets. Eza's eggs will not be meeting a sperm. It dissolves. About 2 weeks later, Boris loses his grip on life. Eza has given up her rations to keep Boris alive, but in the end, nothing can save him. Since the lining of the uterus is not needed for a pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. Eza vows to survive. She sets off to join the Polish resistance as a daring spy and saboteur. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. It is incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. I don't know, at the bottom. See me! Exclamation mark. Yeah, it is nice that the Blade Runner eventually did well. It took a while. One of the things, if we're going to talk about Blade Runner very briefly, because it doesn't really relate to anything here, but that is the fact that Blade Runner was released on the exact same day as The Thing, and both of them flopped. And they're two of my favorite sci-fi movies. Oh, more versions of that, more copies of that book. Samantha, please give this to your mother. Janice, thank you for having Danny over to your new home. He has missed having his friend Samantha in the neighborhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I gave my permission. He needs to spend less time with those games anyway. No hurry returning it. Let Samantha know that she's welcome back to our house to visit any time.
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend. And Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, like, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
Hi Lonnie, so if you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon, that would be cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I can drive you home too, so hopefully that's fine. Right back and leave this in my locker if you still want to, and we can come meet in the parking lot after 6. Samantha. Yeah, I'm totally in. See you there. Then I'm gonna kick your butt. Get ready. And there's a low drawing.
So
Yes,
you know what they say
oh,
about the best laid
sorry.
plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow.
Ooh, okay. And here we have a message. Katie, please, whatever you found, don't tell mom and dad. The attic. Scrolled out and crumpled down. Okay. Very sus. Just get a Nintendo, yeah. Nintendos were expensive. Hey, are you the new girl, Sam? I'm Tommy at the back behind you. Wave if you get this and write back. Hi, Tommy. Yes, I'm Samantha, and yes, I'm new. What's up? I just thought since you're new, maybe you could use a friend. I don't have a lot of friends either, and so I thought I'd ask you if you don't mind. Do you mind? Yes, no. No, I don't mind. What do you want to ask? Was it just your uncle who went psycho, or does it run in the family? What did her uncle do? Is the key question here. So we're now in the psycho house, in the middle of a dark and stormy night. And it's creepy. So let's check the other side of the house. The other wing, as it were. Ooh, track and field champion. Track and field champion again. Read letter. Dear Jan, it's so good to hear from you again. All this new house business sounds like quite the adventure. Remember the low dorm room we shared freshman year when we were miserable fantasizing about our dream homes? I always said I wanted a mansion. You said you just wanted a house in the woods. Look who got both. Somebody up there likes you. I could use some of that magic. Send me some lottery numbers. I'll play them. Seriously. But I shouldn't be complaining about this good old split level we've had since Bob got transferred to Winnipeg. We just got a new vinyl siding. Jealous yet? Let me know if you ever want to trade places. So how are the girls doing? Has Katie left her on her big European adventure yet? Speaking of jealous. Right back soon. I miss you, Rumi. Oh, that's a little bit passive aggressive. I know, because that's how I would write it. Right, so basically, I'm going to get into this a little bit now. So this game was... Oh, it's another locked door. So this game was pretty controversial back in the day when this was released, and this is one of the games that at the time kicked off a debate about what was a real or not real game. And a lot of people were arguing that this game isn't a real game. Nowadays, we're a little bit more... I think the definition has become a little bit looser. People aren't so gatekeepy about it. But it is fascinating just how much furore this game kicked up. So our mom is a senior conservationist for the Forestry Service. This is stuff for the front hall. Ooh, I missed something. Have a doggone cool 17th birthday. Happy birthday, Sam. Uncle Harvey. Okay. Oh, I can hear noises. I wonder if Morbius will remember this blade. I don't know. I think Morbius is going to be forgotten in like a day or two now. Because the joke is over. Nothing else. There's no joke left anymore. It's gonna, you know what it's gonna be remembered as? It's gonna be as remembered as Snakes on a Plane is. Controlled burn scheduled for Boone County. Plumes of smoke will rise above the northeastern region of Boone County over the better part of next week as part of a Forestry Service run controlled burn. Right, so this is related to our mom, I guess. She's even interviewed there. In addition to removing dead and overgrown vegetation that can lead to wildfires in the drier months, the operation will serve as a valuable training tool for the forestry and firefighting personnel involved, said senior conservationist Janice Greenbrier. Which is funny because we played another game where we did that, where we were a Firewatch. It was the game called Firewatch. Monday, couples bowling. Wednesday, cooking class, take apron. Friday, ballroom dancing. Monday, couples bowling. Okay, so their mom and dad are doing stuff. Notice of temporary personnel transfer. To aid in the upcoming prescribed burn operation, a range of expertise in the procedure is being transferred to the station of Flintlock, effective 9/2/94. Please see attached personnel file. The overseeing officer of Flintlock, Jonas Greenbrier, is charged with the supervision of transfer personnel. The duration of transfer will be based upon performance evaluation as well as recommendation of the overseeing officer. Sam, stop leaving every damn light in the house on. You're as bad as your sister. I like that. I like that joke a lot because we are leaving all the lights on. It's a nice little wink. Ooh, cassette tape. Bratmobile. For Sam. Love thing, stab, cherry bomb, throwaway, product. Some B special. Fuck your fans, Polaroid baby, panic bitch, Richard cool schmool. Oh, so it's some riot girl stuff, I guess.
It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like instantly just right. I gave her the grand Psycho House tour and took my revenge on Super Nintendo. And it was like, I don't know, I finally found someone I feel normal around. I drove her home and she gave me this tape and said, "You have got to listen to this." I haven't stopped playing it since.
Oh, mixtapes. The true love language. Right, so we have a... Apart from that, Daniel called, he wants his Nintendo game back. Nintendo game back. Sternly worded letter. To whom it may concern, I, Samantha Greenbrier, am 17 years old and I'm therefore an independent, fully functional human being. The fact that you still forbid me from going into the city on my own is frankly absurd. Compared with Katie, who is only 3 years older than me, and yet you allowed her to go all the way across an ocean to another continent on her own. I just want to spend an evening in a normal, totally safe city on my own like a human being, and as you may also remember that I have my own car now, you can't really stop me. Warmest regards, your daughter Samantha. Yeah, you could carry on with those eyebrow wiggles. Oh, there's a cassette.
so cool, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're so cool. We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Fuck you too, cool schmuck. I don't wanna sit around and talk about the water. We're such a good old day.
Adventurous the cat returns. Chun-Li moves. Oh hell yeah. Who remembers writing down fighting game moves? Magic Eye! Oh, can we do it? I could never do this. Hang on. Like sometimes I'll kinda get them and then but then I can't really see what they are. No, I'm not getting this. Try this one. I'm sure it's something very cool. Super Spitfire. Journey of Crystal. I get the sense that maybe no one's home, considering that we were just playing that and no one's waking up. Hi Lonnie, I wrote this in my first period and left it in your locker on the way to second. It's what all the cool kids are doing, I've decided. Write me back. Also, here's an idea for something to draw. 2 cats on a motorcycle. Hey, this is a good idea. What all the cool kids are doing is actually sending each other pages on their beepers. But we're cooler than them because guess what? They can't put this on a beeper. And that's the picture. 2 kitties. Your drawing of cats was so good that I added a background to make it even better. Maybe I should just stick to writing now. Haha, I like it. How do you know that they were about to get abducted by aliens? I'm looking at Mr. Fish right now. Feels like he probably would have had a lot of cats. Also like his secret shame is that he watches 90210 religiously. I'm going to ask him about the cats after class. He said he has 2 cats and also that he's never watched 90210, but I could see in his eyes he was lying. Oh, we got... Oh, it's very 90s again. We've got Nev Campbell. We've got Jodie Foster. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember everyone's name now. Laura Flynn Boyle. And, oh god, Sherilyn... Oh my god, how am I forgetting her name? Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks? You better not be reading my secret diary again. How many fingers am I holding up? Hadn't had that much to drink, Jodie Foster. Here you go, Mittens. Have some pate. Gross. Right, with another combination lock. Well, you know what? We're gonna snoop. It's our sister. It's our right to. Oh, the Bible. Oh, Mitten. Oh, kitty. Captain Allegra, still in her flowing skirt and sturdy jerkin, descended a single shining thread onto the lower cavern of the labyrinth. She and her first mate, on their own now, grew closer to the goal, the throne room of the dead immortal king of the island. The first mate slid down the line onto the stone floor. She swept chalky bone dust from the front of her canvas trousers and looked up at Allegra. The silken thread, nigh unbreakable thanks to the enchanted moths that inhabited the island, trailed behind, leading their way back to the entrance. From further into the labyrinth, a moaning began to echo. The moaning grew louder and clearer. The king's cursed voice. The hairs on Captain Allegra's arms stood on end. She looked back at the first mate, whose eyes remained locked on the blackness of the passage for a moment too long before noticing the captain's gaze. The first mate nodded silently ahead. The great basin of the dead king's throne room lay beyond. Skeletal in rotted robes, the king was hunched over a blue orb. He was pondering his orb. topping his royal scepter. As he sang, wailing souls flowed in one by one through the cracks in the cave walls, pulled into the orb, causing it to glow brighter and brighter. Behind the king, a long staircase hewn from rock led down to the chamber from a passage at the top. Allegra said, "We have the advantage in numbers. I will draw his attention, and then you..." But the first mate interrupted. "No, I am smaller and quicker, and you know of dealing with mystic energies like these. I will circle to the other side, get the king's attention, and lead him on a merry chase." She held up the silk line. "All traced by this invincible thread, of course," Allegra said. "It's a good plan, but perhaps we should go together." The first mate shook her head. "You know this is our best chance. Don't be afraid for me." They grasped hands and exchanged 3 tight squeezes, their palms growing warm. The first mate tied the shining thread to the belt of her trousers, gave a quick salute and a wink, and dashed off. Allegra waited, staring vigilantly across the top of the stairs where the first mate was to appear. The king continued his, "Wait, no." The singing stopped. The king turned and began walking up the stairs. Allegra wanted to call out, to do anything to stop the first mate from running headfirst into danger. The king was nearly at the top of the stairs when the first mate burst through the passageway. She skidded to a stop, then turned and ran, the king chasing after with distressing speed. From some dank passage much too far away, Allegra heard the first mate scream. The line in Allegra's hand went taut, then shuddered. It fell slack to the stone floor. Allegra ran, following the line, and came to its end. The unbreakable thread dangled limply, its end frayed in the hand. She tossed it to the ground and ran. Well, the writing is getting better. I'm kind of invested now. Steggy! I love Steggy. Look at Steggy. Give Steggy kisses. Yeah, it's a pretty cool room, I think. What have we got here? Patti Smith, Biohazard, Dinosaur Jr., Lemonheads, Ice Cube, Groove. AIDS in Africa, Soul Asylum Live. A unit. Indeed. What else we got? We got some books. It's very messy, but you know, it's what you'd expect. Sam, I think the creative writing track would be perfect for you. Reed College, one of the nation's most lauded private liberal arts and sciences universities, is proud to announce its 14th annual summer program for young scholars. Blah, 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 blah. Beyond the benefits of the program itself. So, yeah, basically, it's college. It's college. Ugh. Ah, we just came out the other end there, did we? Yes, okay, so 2 doors into Sam's room. Okay, worrying. So there's no one here, and now we're finding blood in the bath. In the psycho house. Except it's red hair dye.
Lonnie brought her hair dye over today. She said, "I need to fix these roots. Think you could help?" Dyeing hair is weirdly intimate. I don't know if I've touched someone else's scalp before. That's pretty intimate, right? It felt intimate. We looked into the mirror together after, and I expected her to say something about how it looked crappy or good or whatever. But that's when she said, "You're so beautiful." And she was looking at me. Right in that moment, I wanted to say something, but I waited. And the moment was gone.
So, one of the things that I love about this game, and I think the reason why I wanted to people to go in as with as few preconceptions as possible, is that this game does a very clever thing with it, where it uses horror cliches to create an atmosphere, and then just subverts what you're expecting. But let's leave that open so we know what we've been checking. Hey Sam, do you want to see Pulp Fiction after school at the Coliseum? It came out last week and Todd won't shut up about it, so it's either good or we can make fun of him for liking it. My mom was supposed to cook dinner for us tonight for a change, but I can just ditch out on it probably. What time? Isn't that movie supposed to be really violent? Am I gonna barf? According to Todd, it's pretty hardcore. I guess Uma Thurman gets stabbed in the heart with a heroin needle, so that's kind of hilarious. Also, something about cheeseburgers is important. I think Todd's gonna come too, so he can see it again if that's okay. 7:15, okay? Don't barf. Alrighty, see you then. Barf. Yeah, Pulp Fiction time. Right, so we can go. We've not been in here. So, Earth, Wind and Fire and Winnie Nelson. Can we get a hairless opinion on that statement? Dear Mom, Dad and Sam, I'm in the Channel. This is my second passage through the Channel. I'm on my way back from London, this time going to Brussels, Belgium. Sorry I didn't write you on the way to London, but I was too excited about the Channel. London is great. Dad, I know you're always wanting to visit, and I think you really should. You'd love it. If you all wanted to come back here as family sometimes, I guess I could be convinced. London. They actually did get the proper stamp as well, which is a nice little touch. Holy Bible, of course. Business card. Unknown Dimension Literature. So it looks like someone's been rooting for the drawers a little bit. No one's here, which is still a bit worrying. Films we've got Bridge over the River Kwai, Silence of the Lambs, Inside Edition, The Sound of Music, All the President's Men, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Fugitive. Oh, Mitten. Oh, Mitten's been gone for a while though. That was drawn when we were 5 and we're now in our 20s. Someone's been in here because the light is on. Watercolor technique for fluorescent still lives. I miss Steggy. We'll go and see Steggy later because there's the locker in that room that we want to get into because we need to find out what the hell's happening. Take your time. I'm glad to have it in good hands, Rick. Take what time? What did it? Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. Who's Rick? So something's definitely going on here. And I really don't like all the creaking. Really, I'm not a fan. Okay, nothing in I think what this, yeah, this is Mom's and Dad's bedroom. We can't find anything in here. What about their ensuite? Because of course they have an ensuite. Cut up with their drawers. Their ensuite's got an ensuite. After the honeymoon, rediscovering your spouse, personally, spiritually, sexually, by Reverend Alexander Michaels. It may seem inevitable that the spark you and your spouse shared on your honeymoon should fade over time, but it doesn't have to be. Reverend Alexander Michaels will show you how to rekindle the fire you once had. Part 1 provides simple steps to reopen the lines of communication. I can't actually read what that says. Part 2 leverages the Reverend's decades of service to God, helping you connect with a higher power. You'll draw strength from a spirituality you may not even know you have. Part 3 offers a series of fresh and exciting ideas for the bedroom, including a few things that may surprise you. Maybe the lady should go on top. and other such kinky suggestions. The reserves of passion for your spouse run deep. You just have to know where to look. I love the ugh prompt. They've got a really nice. They've got literally have a separate room for their bath and toilet. And it's a pretty nice bath too, if you don't mind me saying. So yeah, it is definitely. I'm feeling the spookiness right now. We got another note. Katie, Mom and Dad were going to make up the guest room for you to stay in over the summer, but you came home on such short notice that they weren't around to do it. You can use my room if you want. I won't be needing it anymore. Right, so I guess this is meant to be our room. Composition book. Samantha, a ghost hunter journal. Right, sighting journal. August 31st. A tall shadow in the upstairs hall. When I rounded the corner, no one was there. How tall was Uncle Oscar? Note, I was not wearing my glasses. September 3rd. A faint voice coming from the bottom of the stairs. I said hello. Did not investigate. Probably was the furnace. September 9th. Poured milk from carton in fridge. It was spoiled. Pretty sure I read that spirits can sour milk. Milk was just bought yesterday. Moo. Also ghost milk. Ooh. Yep. Just take in the ghost milk for a bit. October 9th. Lonnie said she feels a presence in the TV room. I suddenly begin to feel cold. We build a protective pillow for it. October 22nd. Lonnie and I employ Ouija board as a medium. Disturbing messages are conveyed from the other side. Oscar definitely here. October 28th. Enlisted Lonnie to stay up all night and help patrol premises, recording any signs of overworldly presence. Lonnie reported many sightings, but all remained unconfirmed. Possible ectoplasm in attic, probably due to leaky roof. Sample taken just in case. Despite our best efforts, we both fell asleep around 4 a.m. All in all, a successful night. Alright, so we maybe Uncle Oscar is hanging around. Hey, Sam, you were asking what my JROTC ribbons meant. Here's a handy guide. Orienteering. This means the army thinks I can find my way around. Rifle team. The army has branded me as a certified killing machine. Adventure training. I'm a bored adventuress and no borders can hold me. The army recognizes this. So if you don't think I was cool before, now you do. Army? More like, are you kidding me? Alright, so we've got a lot of boxes. I don't feel like unpacking those right now. Let's leave that for now. We're gonna go back to Steggy in a bit. Don't worry too much. Ooh, cassette. Heavens to Betsy, nothing can stop me. Can we... I don't actually know if you can run in this game. You can crawl. No, I'm gonna throw that there and we'll pick it up on the way back. Go and listen to it later. Exam forum. Performance evaluation. Knowledge... Oh god, all 5s. Exemplary. Ranger Patomac has been indispensable during the course of the prescribed burn preparation and execution. I believe his expertise and dedication has been the design, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, Mom is doing performance evaluation on Richard. If you'll remember, there was a Rick had left something for our mom. Rick. And she seems to really like this Rick. So, you know, worth noting. Halloween show. The Misfits. They're awesome. Don't forget your costume. Hell yeah.
Sometimes you just have to lie to Mom and Dad. Like when Lonnie asked me to see a band with her and stay over at her friend's place in the city after. That's a lie to Mom and Dad's situation. But it was so worth it. The girls on stage were just so loud and real and awesome. And everybody was moving together like one huge tide of sound. Between two songs, Lonnie leaned over and said, "How do you like your first show?" I was so happy. I felt tears starting in my eyes. And then she up and hugged me. I think she could tell.
Ooh, they're making costumes. They're cosplaying. They're cosplaying their OCs. Hell yeah. That is cool as hell. And that's odd is the case for the cassette that we found in there. Heavens to Betsy. Ooh. Lonnie, holy crap, I was in the library and I noticed something in the corner and I found a secret passage and it had Oscar's creepy old stuff in it. Oh my god, I have to see this. We're skipping 6th. Oh, okay, so that is passage in the library? Through the closet of Mom and Dad's room. Okay, so let's remember this. Please. Actually, let's stay on this for a bit. I'm gonna go and refill my drink, and we'll be back to check the creepy psycho house even more. Your eyebrows ready. Right. Back we are. Back we are with the game. The game. Right, so we've apparently we're finding a creepy secret passage in the creepy psycho house. It's a very clever conceit, this. I think with the fact that like we are, because the game is called Gone Home. Nice double meaning there, where it could obviously be, because obviously this is technically our home, but we are playing a character who is not, has never been here before. So we've got the Gone Home, so it's also a home that's gone, because our family is nowhere to be found. Sam's dark room. Do not enter if the red lights are on. So, but with that, we've explored most of the house. It's a pretty big house, but we've covered the majority of it. So at this point, it really is all about trying to suss out all the secrets. Why is everyone gone? Where has Sam gone? Where have our parents gone? And most importantly, what's on this tape? More riot girl punk, I guess. Before we get copyright strike. We need to figure out the combination, but there's a letter under the bed that I missed before. Can we get that? Year 11, teacher, Fletcher, period 5, metalworking. Notes, not a challenging assignment, metal plaque for a family portrait. Reasonable subject, but not complex. When I said that mom and dad should be replaced with parents' names, I did not mean just add them underneath. Acceptable leveling on edges. Show more pride in work. She's a bit, maybe a bit of a slacker, which is fine when you're in that kind of age. You got other shit to think about. But the way that this game uses horror tropes, and quite hackneyed horror tropes as well, specifically, to create this atmosphere of unease and uncertainty is really good, because this is the kind of game where you go into this game and you know that it's a video game, you know that it's about exploration, and if you would just have been a house, you would have come at it from a player perspective of, I'm excited to find out what's happening in this house. And you do that still, but having the horror, having this sort of horror atmosphere, especially early on, where you're sort of light, everything is dark and it's uncertain and everything is unfamiliar, well, it puts you in Caitlin's perspective in a really good way, because that's going to be the frame of mind that she enters the house with. And especially now, as the mysteries start to pile up about what is actually going on here, even more so. But then it sort of begins to move from a horror to more of a mystery. And this is basically the point where the game becomes sort of an adventure game. That was the one we were looking at before. There's nothing else here. So let's try to figure out if we can find... Because we've got that part of the house to unlock as well. We have another door to unlock up here. That's the basement door. And they've already made a... show the passage on the map. That's very handy. So when people said that like this isn't a real game, that was largely based on the fact that there isn't really a win state. There isn't really a way to lose, which at the time was fairly uncommon. I mean, now that's very common. There are so many games that don't really have a way to lose them. But I remember very specifically people would complain that this game, like, well, you can't even die in it, so like, how can you even call it a video game? But this game actually does have puzzles, and we're going to be solving some of them. It's just that the sort of the first half of the game, which we've just now kind of finished, is all build up. We're all like setting all of these little side plots in motion. We now just have like this big ball of like tangled threads that we now need to start straightening out to like understand what's happening here. But we have this whole idea of the marriage being on the rocks, like maybe there's an affair happening there. Sam's got something going on with his girl, and yet everyone is vanished. So what is going on exactly? From the desk of some publisher, I write to inform you that unfortunately Mercury Books will be unable to publish your follow-up to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of The Accidental Savior, we went ahead with publication of the second book in hopes of the John Russell series catching on. However, sales of the second book have in fact been lower than those of the first, and so our stewardship of the series must end here. It has been a pleasure working as your publisher, and we wish you and John Russell the best in your future endeavours. Sincerely, Donald Phipps. Dad's writing career didn't really take off, but the book does look shit, so, you know. And now he's got a mostly empty bar, so we can probably add that to the reason stuff isn't going too well. We are currently in the music room, so we'll go back out. We need to go back to Dad's office. Yeah, it's pretty harsh. I mean, this was the 90s. You could get any fucking crap published. I'm going to see if I actually can find a run button. Rebind controls. Oh, it totally doesn't have one, does it? God damn it. Hello, Ralph. You haven't been on the stream for a while. Right, let's figure out where we were. So, oh no, it's the library. Oh, so it's the library. We gotta go for the library. Right, so that's gonna be here, isn't it? For God so loved the world, he gave his only son. There was some real weird stuff in the school library. The game debate does seem weird nowadays. It definitely is a game, and I think everyone thinks so now. Yeah, I think at the time it was just like... It's weird to think how something like this was perceived to be so unusual that it couldn't even be defined as a game. And in less than 10 years, this is just standard. Like, no one would even think to, I mean, not no one, but most people wouldn't think to even question it now. But at the time, this was pretty radical, which is, again, weird to consider that this was in any way controversial. Ghost Hunter's house investigation log. Hello, Ralphie. Do you want to come and sit? No. All right. No, Ralphie. No, Ralphie for us. Are you sure? I think people would love to see you. Oh, come on. Give the people what they want. Give the people what they want. And a big yawn. And a big yawn. You wanna come and sit? Yeah, we go. Hiya. Hello. Hello, yo. How are you doing? Smush the baby. Smush the baby. Back to the game. I'm gonna actually a little bit brighter, so I'm gonna probably let's see what's actually. That's not bright enough, and that's too bright. Right. Evidence of the supernatural discovered 0, but look, there's an interesting little note here. Hidden compartments found. So we have 3 hidden compartments, alright. So make a note of the library, upstairs hall, and the foyer. But we haven't found any. Are those going to be added to the map? Yes, they are. Thank you. See, this is a very gamey thing. Like, I think this kind of game now, if they release this game now, they wouldn't be doing this. Like, you would be asked to keep track of this yourself. Like, maybe that would be an accessibility feature. But it's interesting that they, like, to think just, like, how gamey this actually is. I don't like this. This is so creepy. Like, I don't know how much. I mean, this isn't handy. Like, if I lived in this house, I think it would be handy, but I would try to make this passage less incredibly creepy. And I also don't love the idea of, like, sleeping here and, like, facing a horrible, dark, secret tunnel. Maybe they didn't even know about it. I guess that's the implication, that they didn't even know that existed. But okay, we found that. So now there's one. So hang on. We are now, if I go out here. So opposite Sam's room. Hang on. Here. Is there gonna be one here somewhere? There we go. Look here. Half of Sam's locker combo. Hell yeah. Do you turn on every light in your apartment when playing horror games? Yes. I have a few things. Oh god, this is embarrassing. But I have a few things. If I'm going to play a horror game, I almost never play on my own. If I'm playing a horror game, I try to play with someone else. 2, if I can't play on my own, or if I have to play on my own, turn the lights on, and then I never play full screen. Because I can't take it. I can't cope. I'm too much of a scaredy cat. That's just, I can't deal. Hello, who are you? Oscar, what do you want? To come back. Fuck, Oscar's coming back. Alright, that's one of them. You know what? Screw this. We're gonna go downstairs again. And I don't want to take the creepy tunnel. Where was the other? So there should be 2 more down here. One right here, I think. Yeah, just outside Dad's office. And here we go. That's the second half. Heaven at the edge of the world. Private, do not read. The Green Glacier. Allegra and her scouting party peered down warily through the dense canopy of rustling leaves from their perch high in the forest branches. Mere feet away, sunlight shone brightly off the inner ice walls of the glacial basin in which the forest grew. It was a strange sight indeed, such lushness juxtaposed with the frigid ice formations. I watch scary movies in the dark, but I always run to the light switch when it's done. Oh yeah, I can relate to that. Allegra leapt forward without hesitation, bounding through the high branches. The first mate had been captured by the Green Glacier's Amazonian tribe. His life hung in the balance. We have to hurry. Her party followed behind, moving quietly as a breeze through the greenery. Allegra landed in the clearing and shouted, "Stop!" She saw the Queen Amazonian, up on her pedestal, reaching for the lever that would drop her first mate into the vat below. She shouted, "No!" and flung her saber at the Amazon's reaching hand, but it was too late. The first mate screamed as he fell down the water and then splashed down, and all was eerily silent. Allegra looked on, frozen in fear and remorse. She had been a moment too late. But then from the vat something began to emerge, a head of dark brown hair, just like the first mate's. Then the shoulders and sleeves of his coat, soaking wet. But as the figure stood and the water poured down, Allegra saw that the first mate had changed. He was no longer a man at all. In fact, what looked back at her were the eyes, the face, the hair, and handsome body of a woman. Still in the first mate's clothes. Still the first mate. She, spoke in a soft, clear voice. "Captain?" The Amazonian queen said, "She's one of us now. She's ours." Allegra drew her magical flintlock pistols from her belt, and her crew readied their swords. Allegra glared into the queen's eyes and said, "That's the love of my life, and you can't have her." Well. Yeah, that's how it works. You get kidnapped by Amazons. They dump you in a vat of goop. It's like the beginning of Jack and Daxter, really. It's not at all like a year-long process where you take pills every single day or jab stuff in your butt. And then there's... Oh, there's another secret in Dad's office. Okay. Well, that makes sense. It would be in Dad's office. So we've got to go back. And is it going to be... Where is it? Oh, no, it's the library again. There we go. It's at the very corner. As far into the library as we can possibly be. The Misfits. So are the Misfits meant to be like a women-only Misfits cover band? Because if so, that rules. Hello, Theo. Oh, Theo's walking around.
At Todd's brother's place after the show, there was only a futon to sleep on, so Lonnie and I shared it. The lights went out. I was turned toward her. My eyes started to adjust, and then I could see she was looking at me, too. In the dark, she smiled. My heart was beating so fast. I rolled over. I felt so, I don't know, nervous? After a minute, she put her arm around me and was so close and whispered in my ear, "I really like you." I just nodded my head, and I really hope she could tell. I really hope that she meant what I think she did. I felt like a shook-up can of soda ever since. I hope we have the chance to talk before I explode.
Ooh, alright. Things are getting serious. So, okay, we did get the... Were the Misfits big in the 90s? Oh no, dancing was pretty big at the time. I guess. I think they were bigger in the 80s. Weren't they? I don't actually know much about... don't actually know much about Misfits, to be honest. But I feel like they were more of an 80s thing. So it makes sense that, like, in the 90s you would sort of have cover bands and stuff. Complete combination. So to open, turn right 3 times. Stop at the first number. Turn left once. Oh, hang on. Turn left 1 number to stop at second number. Turn right to the second number. Pull shackle and stuff at the third number. Okay. We'll just enter 0, 5, 1. There we go. That was what we needed. Cigarettes! God. Naughty. It's Lonnie with her red hair.
Lonnie came over today. Everything was different. She was sitting at my desk chair, and she wouldn't look at me. Finally, I asked her what was going on. She said she felt like she'd done something wrong that night in the city. Like I must think... But I said no. There was nothing wrong. I just wanted to say... But I couldn't find the words. I felt like I was gonna cry, but I wasn't sad. She got up and sat next to me on the bed. I looked at her. Lonnie, do you think you could ever... And that's when she kissed me.
Exactly. Okay, but do you like me? Like, you could be married for 18 years and you'd still be like, I don't know if she actually likes me. Gosh, Sam. Looky here. Finally, Gillian Anderson. Yeah, of course. The Magazine for Men. 1994. Yes, of course. Famously, only men fancied Gillian Anderson. Only bros. Only big, manly bros. That's the kind of people who are mainly known for liking Gillian Anderson. Definitely no one else. Right. So did I get the basement key? No, I didn't actually pick it up. That's good. So we've got to go downstairs again. Because definitely the thing that we need to do now is go into the creepy basement. I mean, I guess the basement is creepy. The basement is down here. It's all the way down the corner. Of course. I genuinely would not want to live in a house this big because I hate the idea of having rooms in your house that you're very rarely in, if that makes sense. I don't, because I think part of it is for me that I have a fear, like a phobia I have, and I don't know what the name of this is, but I have a phobia of the idea of people living in my house without me knowing about it. So if you know, like if you want to Google this, there are examples of where this has happened, where someone's been squatting in like a secret room or like in an attic or something. And for some reason that is like a big fear of mine, and I feel like if I was living in a house where you have like all like guest rooms and like locked rooms and stuff, I don't know, there's something about it. I don't like the idea of being unaware of places in my home. Like the house I'm living in now is kind of the perfect size for me because it's like I know where everything is at any given time, but it's not tiny. But that said, it's time to go down to the creepy basement. And of course, when it comes to the basement, you'll want to put the light switch right at the bottom. So you have to go down into the darkness. And thankfully it works. God, I know what happens in this game, and even this is freaking me out. Chips. Oh, these chips will have been here a while, I guess. Dear Samantha, I would like to cordially thank you for having me to your abode for the Thanksgiving holiday with your lovely family. I enjoyed the flavourful potatoes, and also it was weird being around your parents for that long, but it was pretty funny how impossible it is for your dad to not be awkward for more than 30 seconds at a time. Very cordially yours, your close friend and confidant, Lonnie D. Dear Mr. Soto, allow me to take this opportunity to thank you for being such a gracious host of the festivities at your father's estate, following the aforementioned meal with my parents. Your father's Thanksgiving feast was the more enjoyable of the two events, I must say. I especially appreciated the time I spent with your grandmother, who is a lovely woman with sterling taste and a refined air. Let's do this again, same time next year, shall we? Indeed, Madame Samantha L. Greenbrier, Esquire. And I just I don't like the idea of just like not being aware of what happens in my home. Also, what the fuck is with these light switches? Fucking seriously. K is for kind, A is for awesome, I is for intelligent, T is for talented, L is for lighthearted, I is for important, N is for nice. Reproductive system worksheet. Oh, we're back to this again. Is this the same one as before? Okay, so this is before she rewrote it. Okay. Caitlin, oh, we got a first in something. That looks like a science fair, maybe? We never had those. Like, that's one of those things that I see a lot in, like, American media, like science fairs and stuff. But that is definitely not something that I recognize from, like, my childhood. Being forced to go into a creepy basement in a game is different to watching someone in a movie going into a creepy basement. Is words being forced. Yeah, exactly. Games are pretty good at doing that. Like I remember one example of that is Silent Hill, the first one. There's a portion where you have to go down into a basement and you know it's bad news, but obviously you have to, and it does feel very different. God, I hate this. Like, I know what happens in this game, and I hate it anyway. And this is horrible. A letter from Grandad. From the desk of Richard Greenbrier. Dear Terence, thank you for sending along a copy of your newly published book. An author's first published manuscript is a momentous occasion. I read it this afternoon. I certainly recognise my son in the subject matter. An author's work is the externalization of that which he holds dear and that which he fears. And in this respect, I believe your work was successful. But the lens through the personal shone the needlessly clouded by genre cliches and implausible dime store science fiction deus ex machina. I congratulate you on surviving the great ordeal that is publication, and rest assured that readers of your chosen genre will lap up copies hungrily, but I urge you to shed artifice. You can do better. With a father's love and encouragement, Richard Greenbrier, PhD. Wow. How warm. Thank you, Gramps. Fucking Grandpa here being like a total dick. Mom's citizenship stuff. Certificate of naturalization. Interesting. So mom became a US citizen, apparently. Interesting. Hello, Ralphie. You're back. Time for you to stop begging for food. Hey Sam, I'm writing to you from Multnoa Falls. I'm here for a stupid class trip, which is stupid because it's March and I don't know if anyone's running this school has been to Oregon, but it's cold and rainy as shit in March. Wish you were here. Oh wait, you are here because I'm writing this to you in the gift shop. Oh shit, here you come.
They tell you to stick with the group on field trips, Katie. There's a reason for that. Lonnie and I snuck off on the side paths at Multnomah Falls and got a little lost. Okay, a lot lost. Like, for hours. Right before the bus left, we found a trail and came running down the path, soaked and covered in mud, shouting for the bus not to leave. The school called home. Mom and Dad said, "You didn't get into trouble like this before you met that Lonnie girl." But I don't think they know about us. kids at school, though, I'm really afraid that's a whole other story. Stick with the group, Katie. Stick with the group.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna check in here. Ugh. Ugh. It's like a secret bedroom. Yolanda de Soto. Dear Sam, I'm so happy you liked your drawing. I was thinking of us when I drew it. I knew you'd be able to tell. You'd love Mexico, I think. Probably. The nature is totally different than back home. I keep thinking about Electra and the first mate lost on a mysterious island where even the plants are out to get him. And then I think of them together, out there in the wilderness together, and I start thinking of you again. I lie here in bed and I can almost feel you. I've been trying to save it up for when we're together again. I haven't done a good job, okay? But I tried. Okay, enough about that. Your last letter got to me the day before we started driving back north. We'll be racing this letter home. We'll be racing this letter home. If I get home first, we can read it together. And yes, I am taking a tons of photos. We'll have to spend so much time together in the dark room. To amor, Laura. Do I have Silent Hill? Do I have? I mean, it's a boring answer, but it has to be 2. Because it is perfect. Well, it's not a perfect game, but it's pretty close. It's a great game. I do have a lot of fondness for 3 and 4 as well. 3 is probably like the scariest, I would say, like as a pure horror game. And 4 has a lot of really cool ideas, but they're just like very undercooked. So that is a half heart pendant. Done for Sam Greenbrier. Interesting. We got another tape. We got a set list.
Todd's band lost their singer. Todd said he sucked. Lonnie said he got sick of Todd's shit, and he was complaining about needing a new singer. So Lonnie was like, I can sing. And they were all kind of like, you can? And she was like, probably. But she's been rehearsing with them for like a week now. And I finally got to see them play in Todd's basement today. And she's actually really amazing.
Thank you, Starfucker.
I feel so proud when she's on stage. It's incredible being in awe of someone you love. So everybody knows it's like a temporary situation till she ships out in June. But till then, I'm gonna be at every single show.
Hey. Hello. Ralphie's here. Let me show your butt to everyone. You do love showing your butt. Oh, baby. Come on, then. And Theo's here, too. See a cattail. Hello, Nauseum. How are you? Thank you so much for following. That's really cool to see you. Oh, and bye. So lovely to see you. If you want to catch up, I'll post the archive of this stream probably tomorrow evening. I'll be quicker with it than I have been with the Hollow Knight ones. Alright, so this is the first floor plan. And that's the part of the house that we haven't been able to get to yet, and we need a combination to go here. Ooh. It's got a measure of our length. So that's Terry, that's our dad. Thanksgiving 1963. Oh. Oh, it doesn't work. Great. So it's a tiny creepy little room at the end of the hall that's completely dark. Fucking great. Is there anything in here? Grab scrap. Order this month. 2 cases brandy, 2 cases rum, 1 barrel whiskey. Governor remains very pleased with the enforcement in Boone County. Believe this arrangement shall hold for some time. Don't know what that means. A toy? corner. Why is there a toy in the middle of the creepy room at the end of the basement? Can't read any of those. Here we go. It's like a drug. The first time I was in my room in the middle of the night, I woke up and Lonnie was kissing me. The clock said 3:13. Her face was spectral. Okay, I'm not reading any more of that. I grew up gay and closeted in the Northwest, and this game is basically targeted me. Oh, wow, that's amazing. I will say, I have actually played this game before. I played it when it was released. So, almost 10 years ago now. I don't remember a ton of it. I remember, like, the main plot stuff. And I do really like this game. And I believe you're referring to Tacoma, which is another game that I like, that I also want to stream at some point. Eyebrow wiggle. I love that. That is one of my favorite things ever, is the character in the game just puts a stop to it. Like, you as the player might want to read that, but the character we're controlling doesn't. Also, why the fuck did that open? It's Uncle Oscar. That is, I always think that's such a cool little guest room, Mr. Mazen's room, front door, library, kitchen. So this was presumably like the help's bedroom, I guess is the implication. And then this was like a symbol of a system of communication. Yeah, I do want to play Tacoma because I really like Tacoma as well. I think that's. I'm looking forward to Open Roads, but I haven't heard a lot from that lately, and I believe I should actually I can mention this. There were some the developers of this game, was the Fulbright company, was involved in a bit of a controversy. I think a year or two ago, where it was found that the head of the company had been pretty basically a shitty boss and had harassed people and treated people poorly, and it had led to a lot of people leaving the company, which had led to that game being delayed a few times. But he's apparently stepped down, is apparently still being worked on. So there's a lesbian couple in that game. You find a box of their toys. Yes, you do. So Tacoma is also gay, so look forward to that. Right, we've got a paper clipper from 65, sorry. Mazen's Pharmacy changed its hands. The shoppers of Main Street were surprised today at the announcement that Mazen's Pharmacy would change ownership for the first time since it opened 10 years ago. Rumours swirl that the sudden sale to pharmacy was transacted for a song. When asked about speculation that the deal had been signed for as little as $1, Mr. Samuel Onstein, Oscar Mazen's longtime assistant and now proprietor of Mazen's Pharmacy, told the Register that specifics will remain between myself and Mr. Mazen. Mr. Mazen has taken sick and was unavailable for comment. Mazen's Pharmacy is still located on Main Street, but under new management. Interesting. I have not played the station, but I will bear that in mind. Thank you very much for the tip. Right, and then here's one we haven't gone to. Oh no, I do not want to turn that off. Where the hell is this going? I'll keep the station in mind. Ah, so we're on the other side of the house now, I think. Oh, we got some more bomb-ass artwork here. What are you doing? Silly kitty. Kicking against the patriarchy. Hell yeah. I love this shit. More chips. More pizza. To Samantha Greenbrier from the principal. Dear Ms. Greenbrier, I appreciate the time and effort you put into writing your letter. It showed initiative and was well written, but it does not change my mind on this matter. While I understand that Mr. Soto is a friend of yours, the fact of the matter is that she has defaced school property with profanity. The fact that she allegedly defaced her own locker in retaliation for another student doing the same to yours is immaterial. As to your complaint that no other student has been punished for their part in this incident, the fact is that no guilty party has come forward, and there has been no convincing evidence as to who might have defaced your locker. In other words, there is no one to punish. I would suggest letting this issue drop, as it will only bring more unwanted attention on yourself, which I believe is what you claim began this whole incident in the first place. Homophobic.
I don't get Lonnie sometimes. Like, her band, and our zine, and her hair, and everything are all anti-authority. But I watch her in JROTC, and she's doing drills in perfect formation, following orders, no question. And there's all this stuff in the news about don't ask, don't tell. Like, she's going to join the army and then have to lie about who she is. She said they don't need to know what they don't need to know. Like it was no big deal. This from the girl who trashed her locker to, like, defend my honor. I've learned when to stop arguing, though. I don't think Lonnie even gets Lonnie sometimes.
Interesting. So our bedroom also had a creepy passageway to it, and we have a note from the pharmacy, 1963. So let's see if that's the combination for the lock in the basement, or for the lock for the safe in the basement. Hello again, Ralphie. You're being very, very social today. So we've unlocked a little bit more. Let's head down, actually, because we have more stuff to... actually, no, hang on. Let's check these, because there were some scraps here we didn't look at before. That's a lie to mom and dad situation, but it was so worth it. The girls on stage were just so loud and real and awesome, and everyone was moving together like one huge tide of sound. Alright, so this is the... that was part of the diary we heard before. The Psycho House Girl. The cool stuff about being a Psycho House Girl. Cool thing number one, everyone in the hall thinking you don't know they're looking at you and whispering as you walk past, because I guess they haven't heard a peripheral. Costumes, skeletons and devils, cheerleaders from the Smells Like Teen Spirit video, one girl dressed as Jackie Kennedy. Oh, it's a zine they're making. Oh, no, I'll buy it, that's cool. Hello again. Have you gone home yet? Yes, we've been going home now for steadily about an hour and a half. Let's check your Twitter. Apparently you know Tolvo. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I've spoken to Tolvo a couple of times. I wouldn't say we know each other, but we've run in some of the same circles.
I'm so stupid sometimes. I was telling Lonnie that I got into my college summer program thing, and I was all making plans like, you should come visit me, stay in my dorm room. But she said, Sam, I ship out on June 6th. I was like, ship out? To where? She said, to basic training. What did you think I was doing all that ROTC stuff for? I guess she's been planning to join the army right after high school since she was like 12. And I guess she's really going to do it. So I was like, after graduation, I'm just never going to see you again? She said, let's just have fun while we can.
Dear Samantha Greenbrier, we would like to congratulate you on your acceptance to the creative writing track of the Reed College summer program. So that's the one that we found a brochure for. Well, her writing is pretty good. Her pirate stories are good. Enjoy them. But also, did you notice in the... she mentioned that the day she was shipping out was the 6th of June. And you'll find that today is the 6th of June. Where can I read this properly? A course in practical pharmacy. Right, I needed to go and double check what that code was, because we've looked at so many things that I forgot. What? Yes, we're going upstairs, aren't we? Yes, there we go. Reed is a good school. Oh wow, fair enough. Your stepdad went there. Yes, I'm based in the UK. I know very little about any part of America really, but Now, where was the actual... Oh, should have written down the stupid note. I did have the note number somewhere. Girl justice now. Was it in here? No, this is where we were going before. Oh. Oh. Give me some tunes. So where are we? Oh, we're now... There we go. We've unlocked it from the other side. Guardian angels up above. Bless this house with lots of love. Offer promotion. Dear Head Conservationist Greenbrier, due to your exemplary management of the Flintlock prescribed burn operation last year and the service's need for experienced personnel to direct regional operations, we would like to offer you the position of a Regional Conservation Management Director responsible for operations throughout northwestern Oregon. Your post would no longer be the Flintlock National Forest, instead you would move to the regional... Blah, 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 blah. Your assistance will be sought to selecting a ranger to fill your former post. Interesting. Things are going well for Mommy. Oh, so I went to Earth, Wind, and Fire. This skull was the coolest thing I found in Mexico, and it was like $3. I love it. Merry Christmas. Miss you. Treasured always. There's another room. Where is this? Where did I see that code? And why was I so stupid I didn't write it down? There it was. 1963. 1963. So 1963. 1963. That's the name. That's the year my dad was born. So I'll remember that. Ranger Rick was Massive Ranger. Anyway. Oh, now I just gotta find this stupid. There it was. It was down here. 1963. 1963. 1963. Open, please. Some very old hydrogen peroxide. Mold. What is this? Solution of morphine. Interesting. Warning. Maybe habit forming. Yes, turn on morphine. You might want to... It could be quite Moorish. Thank you. I did manage to remember this time. Oscar Mazan, return to sender. Mary Greenbrier. Dear sister, I write what shall be my last appeal to go unanswered, one way or the other. I feel a prisoner, as on an island, with no jailer, no human soul for commune, only my one mind, examining itself, endlessly, searching for relief. In the years since transgression I have sought no absolution, only bare forgiveness. In good faith I have removed myself from all temptation, sacrificed to prove my commitment, however I can imagine. Since my mother's passing I have yearned for nothing more than the acknowledgement of my own kin, to be treated as human again, to breathe the air of human spirit once more. By grace, even a wretch like me could be saved, but I do not expect it. If not response is received, I shall henceforth accept my sentence, and one day simply cease to be. Of a brother's love, always. Oof. Indeed. So, if you'll remember, Oscar very suddenly got rid of his pharmacy. Mysteriously gave up on his business And apparently he's been kept away from his family. And he has a creepy basement where Terence used to play, such as in a creepy room at the end in a secret basement. So I'm not going to linger on that for too much, but if you want to put together that jigsaw puzzle in your head, please go ahead and do so. Because I do think it's very interesting that this game sets up the idea of, it introduces this idea of the house being haunted. It introduces this idea of poltergeists and ghosts, and specifically it calls to action Oscar as being someone who died in this house. He lived in this house his whole life, and he died here, and he's sort of a spirit lingering. And then it does that in a very literal way, which I find that it's interesting, because you are taught to think of Oscar as a haunting presence, and as potentially a monstrous presence, and then it turns out that he was so in a very human way. And I think that is interesting and horrendous. Hi Jan, I got 2 tickets for EWF on Thursday, but my girlfriend says she doesn't want to go. Her taste in music rears its ugly head again. So that leaves me with an extra ticket that I thought you might be interested in. More fun than clearing brush in the freezing rain, right? Rick. It's Rick again. They're gonna go see Earth, Wind and Fire, the sexiest band in the world. Linen closet. And here's the zine again. Examine note. Sam, since you refused to hear us out this afternoon, your mother and I are putting this in writing so we are absolutely clear. You are grounded for the rest of the month from social or telephone privileges and from using your car for anything but going to and from school. We understand what you're going through, but we can't allow you to continue with this kind of behavior at school. And clearly, once your privileges are reinstated, we can't allow you to have your bedroom door closed while Lonnie is at the house. This is the last word on the matter. Get back on course so this won't have to happen again, Dad. Ooh, that's a referral from the principal. Distributing inappropriate materials at school grounds. So yeah, they were giving out the zine.
I had an interesting talk with Mom and Dad tonight. One you were never gonna need to have. I mean, you've known, right? I've known. I've known since, like, She-Ra. Mom and Dad didn't, I guess. But they saw the zine and the stuff on the locker, and they were like, is there something we should know about you and Lonnie? And so here's the thing. I was prepared for them to be mad, or disappointed, or start crying, or something. But they were just in denial. You're too young to know what you want. You and Lonnie are just good friends. You just haven't met the right boy. It's a phase. That's what I didn't see coming. That they wouldn't even respect me enough to believe me. Well, joke's on them, because they're in for one very long phase.
Yeah, nauseum. I completely agree. I remember this part was the one that really got me. Because I think that is I think that's something that a fair number of people can relate to, is the idea that almost, I mean, anger and aggressive responses are obviously horrible when you tell, anyone this, but especially your parents. But it's that feeling of like not even being respected enough to take you for your word is really something else. Hi Mom, Dad and Sam. The Vatican is weird. As you can see, the Catholic Church still has a lot of money left over from the Middle Ages. I'm going to see all of the art, including the Sistine Chapel ceiling and sculptures by Michelangelo, Donatello and the rest of the Ninja Turtles. Mom, we'll have to come back together. I would love to be here with someone who really appreciates the history behind everything. Also, Sam, they have various relics, as in pieces of important dead people, so you should come too. Next stop, Barcelona. Calm down, Dad. I won't get gored by a bull. Probably. What else? Have we got anything else in here? No pin down here. The Gits. First off, congratulations, Janice Greenbrier, Regional Director. And I say congratulations because, come on, you're going to take the job, right? What are you waiting for, an engraved invitation? Call them back. But in the meantime, let's discuss this little outing you had with your favourite flannel-clad hunk. What a blast! But you sound like you're reading a line to an innocent night out. You're sure there's something there? You said he's got an out-of-town girlfriend. You sure they're not serious? Okay, so we'll have to figure out when we'll see each other next in person. Enough with the letters. I owe you a congratulatory margarita, boss lady. Soon. So the setting here as well is one that I wanted to talk about, because I did mention it right at the beginning that we wanted to keep... remember that this was set in the mid-90s, and obviously part of that is story convenience, because it means there are no mobile phones. So you can't just call people to find out where they are. But also, obviously, because this is right before the sort of breaking into the mainstream of gay acceptance, which, I mean, to be fair, hasn't even really happened yet, if we're going to be honest. But this was like when it sort of became talked about as a mainstream thing. So here's a manuscript by Dad. It used to be the third book in his series, and he's crumpled it up, and his wife has presumably brought it out of the trash, written "Don't give up on this, honey," which actually is, I think this is a direct reference to Stephen King. His first published novel, Carrie, he actually threw away, and his wife Tabitha King dug it out of the garbage, read it, and told him that he should carry on with it because she thought it was very good. So I think that is a reference to that happening. So that's in the dining room. God, it's dark here. And this is kitchen. Oh, you're crying. I hope it's good crying. It's a sad game. The schedule working at Crown Burger. Mr. and Mrs. Jonathan Blair request the honour of your presence at the marriage of our daughter, Helen Margaret, to Mr. Richard Morris Patermack, Sunday the 4th of June, 1995, at 4:30 in the afternoon. What we got? Hell yeah, frozen spinach. Fish sticks. All the good shit. So the kitchen seems to be a bit messy. More pizza. Anything in here? I don't believe so. Just a little pantry, I guess. Don't think there's anything to find in there. Ugh, more horrible dark rooms. And this is another secret area, I guess. Dear Mr. Greenbrier, first let me say that I hope this missive finds you well. Hell, it feels like a goddamn miracle that it finds you at all. Do you know how long we've been trying to track you down? Worry not, we aren't the feds, the men in black, or any sort of creepy fascist hobgoblins. In fact, we're on your side. Let me start from the beginning. Unknown Dimension is what you might call a specialist publishing house. We traffic in the weird, the ahead of its time, the lost but not forgotten by a small but dedicated group of plugged-in bibliophiles, type of out-there mass-market shunning visionary expression that refuses to be taken out anything but its own terms. We've had an unparalleled run since our inception 4 years ago, unearthing and reviving Chrysler's zombie-like timeless works such as N.N. Bestman's Message of the Snakeman, It's Inside Me by Jens Keller, and Elmer Krieger's oft-banned Venusian Flesh Traders. John Russell, mild-mannered insurance agent by day, reckless history of revising sociopath by night, is the twisted peacekeeper that modern suburban America deserves. It is our mission to bring him back to life. We want your permission to reprint the work since your original publisher, Mercury Books, folded a decade ago. We want you to supply a new foreword for the series to appear in brand new editions of The Accidental Saver and The Accidental Pariah, to be published by Unknown Dimensions as a limited run and marketed directly to our highly discerning customer base. We look forward to embarking with you and to trust and thrusting your work screaming back into the sweating palms of the unsuspecting American public. It's about time. So he got a chance to re-release his books. And I think the cover is cooler. That's a better cover. Now, we played Firewatch on the stream, and if you'll remember, this book is in Firewatch. Because Firewatch was heavily inspired by Gone Home. I think we're in the garage now. Yep, we are. Here we go. Sam, your mother and I will be away for a long weekend celebrating our anniversary, June 3rd to the 7th. We'll be camping at the gorge, but we will give you a call on the way home. Sorry the kitchen is still mid-renovation. Never trust a contractor. $40 is on the table to order pizza while we're gone. Be good. A lucky break. Yeah, things are looking up. Lonnie, my parents are leaving town, so we'll have to run off the whole house till you leave. Imagine actually spending the night in my room instead of sneaking to our usual spot in the attic. Not that the attic doesn't have its musty allure, but my bedroom is warmer. Sam, we should defile your parents' bed while they're gone. That'll show 'em. Lonnie, you're gross. Never change. Ask me about clown combos. So that's her work uniform, I guess. Right, so we've been pointed to the attic. And that explains why our parents are gone. Simple as that. Again, I love the fact that it sets up this like creepy mystery, like, oh, have they vanished? You know, or have they disappeared? Nah, they're just gone. We came home on short notice and they weren't here for it. Katie comes home this month. We'll call with an exact date. Yeah, they didn't even know we were coming, so we came in the middle of it. So Rick's wedding is right before, and then it's an anniversary trip. And then it's a charity work pickup, dentist. Yeah, stuff's happening. Because she did say that we were coming home. We were going home, if you will, on very short notice. So they weren't around. They didn't even know we were coming home. Right. So, righty-o. There's more down here, I think. Home Cook Magazine. Can we turn the lights on, please? It's like a washing room. A laundry room, yeah, there we go. Ooh, nice. It's like a... Oh, we got a greenhouse. Man, that's cool. Couples retreat. The accidental human. From the pen of Terence L. Greenbrier. Dear Cass, I can't tell you what a joy it is to see John Russell back in print. Thank you very much for sending along copies of the new editions. The cover art is really something. I know you said that Unknown Dimension isn't in the business of printing new material, but this revived interest in my work has brought on a wave of inspiration, resulting in a manuscript that complete John Russell's journey, which I think you may find intriguing. It is reflective and introspective without forgetting the excitement and weirdness that Unknown Dimension's readers expect. I hope this might be an exciting new direction for Unknown Dimension to pursue. At the very least, I'm grateful that John Russell's adventure didn't come to an end quite when I thought they had. Yeah, it's very fancy indeed. Cover copy. It's been almost 20 years since John Russell heard a call. Twice he saved the president's life. He's practically forgotten the days of the future, of danger and excitement, the days where he mattered. So when that familiar rip in time opens in front of him and his handlers peer out, he doesn't hesitate. Is the president in danger? No. The life you save this time will be your own. Dad's writing some pulpy shit, but you know, it's all good. Where we'll do it. Secret door under stairs. Midnight, June 5th. Final preparations are complete. Oh. What are we doing exactly? Secret door under the stairs. Okay.
We agreed our last night together would be our happiest ever. And we'd forget tomorrow was going to come at all. It worked for a while. We had a good time seeing Oscar off. Then ran up to the attic to look through our photos, to find one for Lonnie to take with her. And looking at them, I realized they were all in the past. And there wouldn't be any more. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I cried. And she held me. She said she knew it was hard, but life would move on. I said I didn't want my life to keep moving without her. That's when she cried too. I was so exhausted. I must have fallen asleep like that, in her arms. In the morning, I woke up, and I was finally alone.
We've got a secret, another secret passage. This house is lousy with secret passages. Oh. Possession and exorcism, interacting with the supernatural and releasing unwanted spirits. We got a name badge. So they've been manifesting Oscar. Honey snaps. And enjoying. So that's Oscar. The horrible fucker. So they exorcised him, I guess. And they also left an attic key.
The sunset light in this house is the saddest thing I've ever seen. I just want to sleep. When I'm in the attic, it almost feels like Lonnie could still be here. She's just downstairs. I'm just waiting to hear her pull down the hatch and come running up. Maybe I'll go up to the attic and wait.
So I believe now we have explored everywhere except the attic, and it's been signposting us this whole way that they were going to do something in the attic. Before we go to the attic, we gotta say hi to Steggy again. Hey Steggy. Hello. Steggy. I want Steggy. I want Steggy. Oh yeah. You know I'm all about crowd pleasing. Well, this is it. We checked everything. We checked everywhere else. There's only the attic to go. Sam, I'll always remember what we had. Stay strong. Kick ass. I love you. Lonnie.
Oh my god. Katie. I fell asleep in the attic, in Lonnie and my old spot, and I missed the first 2 calls. I just barely caught the third one before the machine got it. And it was Lonnie. On a payphone. She'd been on the bus to Basic, and she said she couldn't think of anything but me and us, and that she couldn't go through with it with the army and being a part and all of it. And so she got off the bus in Salem. She said, "Sam, I want you to pack up everything you can and get in your car and come find me. And let's just drive until we find somewhere for us." And she asked me if I could do that. And I said yes. Yes.
Let's stay with Steggy. She left Steggy for us.
Katie, I'm so sorry that I can't be there to see you in person, that I can't tell you all this myself. But I hope as you read this journal and you think back, that you'll understand why I had to do what I did. And that you won't be sad, and you won't hate me, and you'll just know that I am where I need to be. I love you so much, Katie. I'll see you again, someday. Love, Sam.
Yeah, there we go. That is indeed the ending. Yes, Theo, I can hear you making noise in the back somewhere. Ooh. She is sad, indeed. It really, really is. But bittersweet is definitely the right phrase there. Sarah Male, who we've seen in a couple of games, I think. She did, I believe she did voices for Read Only Memories. And I think she maybe did some for the Watch Eye games as well. Yeah, so obviously a lot to talk about here. I think the ending, like the sort of twist in the end, is one that I remember really resonated with me last time. Is that you expect the worst, obviously, like when you get that message of we're gonna do it at midnight on the 5th, and you think it's gonna be something very morbid, and obviously the attic is locked, so you have that in your head of thinking, oh my god, have they gone up into the attic, and you know. And then it turns out that they haven't, and they have actually just run away together. And you know, and it's bittersweet in the sense that obviously they are two lesbian teenagers in the mid-90s with absolutely nothing to their names. But at the same time, yeah, they're escaping from lives that would not have treated them kindly anyway, you know. And yeah, hopefully mom and dad got their heads out of their asses. They deserve to feel like shit. Although I do also like that, like, while they are obviously portrayed as being very insensitive and not very understanding, you get a more of a nuanced portrayal of them as people as well. They're not just framed by the fact that they're closed-minded, basically, which I think that adds to the story a lot. I'm really glad that you watched me with this, that you watched me play through this again. I really enjoyed playing this game. I did get very emotional there towards the end, which, you know, it's an emotional game. So I'm gonna swap over to say thank you so much for watching, and for the new follow. I don't know if you're still in the chat, and for everyone who's been lurking this whole time. Back again on Thursday, we're going to be playing a game called Ascension, Transition and Silver, which is a visual novel very much in the style of We Know the Devil, which we played a long time ago, at the very beginning of this channel. So it's a similar story, but it's I think you're really going to enjoy it. But that's on Thursday. For now, I'm just gonna leave you. I'm gonna ship you off to, who are we gonna raid you to? Who is going? I'm looking at my stream deck. My stream deck is not updating. Can you please show me? Oh, Halls is going. Yeah, you know what? Friend of the channel, Halls was in here before, so she'll get the raid. Go and say hi to her, and I hope you're coming back on Thursday. And until then, have a fantastic week, and I will see you on Discord and Twitter and everywhere. Thank you, goodbye, good night, and see you next time.